All right, let's move on to these quick hits. Let's talk about gold, because obviously with all the fear in the market, gold keeps moving up, but GLD kind of seems like it's lagging a little.
Well, gold's opening above 1,600. We've talked about it so many different times. I never like to see anyone just buy to new highs. We've given you a tier in, tier out process. If you're long gold, stay long. You know, every time you see the headlines get nuts and the excitement comes in, sell some, and then on the dip, you buy it. But for gold right now, if you have like 7, 8 positions, we've talked about how 10% of your portfolio needs to be in gold. And if that's the case, you're doing very well.
All right, let's move on to Apple fan favorite. The MacBook Air is supposed to come out this week. Is that going to have an effect on this?
I think earnings on Tuesday is what people are going to be really looking at. And we've also said our go-to list, our stocks, the ones that you have to invest in and own if you're an investor in the market, and that's been Apple. Okay, it's been doing great. And then on Friday, it triggered again. It broke above that 360, 362. I have to show you the chart pattern because there's been so many entries on Apple for you. You know, this was really the time that you could have got your nice little core entry, this little flag pattern right here. This was around 338. Okay, then it broke above this descending channel where traders look to get involved again. Then you had the retest. Now we're at highs here. It's a tricky time for Apple because we're coming into earnings, and you basically have to say to yourself, what's my risk? Am I a long-term investor in Apple? Do I think Apple could hit 450 this year? If that's the case, you hold through earnings. If you're a trader, I would take some in-the-money calls, because if they come out with lowered guidance and they basically, you know, surprise everyone and they don't take it well, then you can get really hurt. And as a trader, your time frame might be smaller. So we'll talk more about that later. But today, I'm long some Apple. I've been long it for a few days. I think if it can go from negative to positive, they might push this going into earnings. Then we'll figure out the trade after.
All right, one that is not done as well is Netflix. Now they came out, so they were increasing prices. I got to tell you, I killed my streaming Netflix. Not worth the money. So is it time to get in, or do you just throw this one out?
At this point, it's getting very choppy on Netflix. We've had so many defined patterns to trade. At this point, unless you're a long-term holder in Netflix, just wait for the earnings to come out and trade it after. There'll be huge volatility. Right now, it's on pause. I'd wait till earnings for Netflix.
Let's talk about TZOO. Their earnings come out on the 21st. Is this something to get involved with?
See, TZOO, I think you should focus on it, not because of the fundamentals, this and that, because the chart pattern is so tight. I'm going to be watching this one. If this thing could finally break above 80, you know, I think that, hold on. It has another nice momentum move. So much of this float is short. So here's that spot. If it could get through 80 with some volume, you could see this go back to new highs pretty quick.
All right, SINA, that's a stock that you guys follow a lot. A lot of the people watching this follow this a lot. Where are we going on that one?
SINA and Baidu, you know, these are elevator shafts. They go up real quickly, down real quickly. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this. As far as SINA is concerned, I like you to be a trader more involved with it than an investor because it is a little bit more risky. But if you look at SINA here, it's giving you a lot of entries. Okay, we talked about this here around 93.50. This was one entry, came up to that descending trend line right there, and now broke above it. So what I like to do is, if you could buy it on the retest around 115 and it holds, that's your entry. And then if you have risk tolerance to take it through earnings, it could be back at new highs, but you better know what you're getting into there because this thing could punish you whether you're long or short. But technically, Baidu and SINA have been acting much better during this move. They are market leaders to me.
Then we have Clorox, big move on Friday. Carl Icahn, loving this one.
Yes, Carl has his loves in it. You know, I don't want to talk about what he's done in the past, this and that, but you know, big move. I would not chase this move. I would avoid Clorox.